first saw Robin D. Kelley, where I first sort of got immersed in his work, right? And it was in 1998, never told you this, at the Black Radical Congress in Chicago, Illinois. And I was in a room in a workshop with this guy, and I guess, let me digress real quick. Other folks that were in the room that day were Mary Baraka, rest in peace. General Baker, rest in peace. And so you have these icons of yesterday and today, right, coming together under one roof to explore and figure out how to bring the academic community and the activist community together for the greatest purpose. And so I'm in a room, and I see a cat, I hear a cat first, and I look. You ready for this? I'm looking, I was like, man, this cat looks like Prince over there. That's looking down. I'm like, who is this cat? See, I see we have some Prince fans out here. And it was Robin D. Kelley. And after that, I read Grace Rose. And I figured out sort of all of the things that he was doing. I told you should have come up here because you was going to blush in front of everyone. That was my experience, right? Robin D. Kelley, prolific writer, scholar, academic, activist. This cat, very busy, but not too busy to answer a call, right? And if that's a telephone call, if that's a call to be on the front line, whatever that call is, this cat right here will be there. And so we are honored today to have him with us. He was busy today, and I hope he tells us a bit about his busyness. But I want you to all give Robin D. Kelley a thunderous round of applause.
That's about it. I can't sing. My wife will tell you. First of all, Pete asked me to say a few words, and probably about what happened this morning, because I could say, like Ice Cube would say, today was a good day. Today is a special day, a good day. Part of it has to do with the fact that in the house here is Angela Davis. That is a revolutionary foot embedded in social movements who wants to end all forms of oppression. She was our commencement speaker today in African American Studies at UCLA. Why is this important? Because we celebrated our 40th anniversary as a program in African American Studies. At the same time, we became a department, which is a big deal at UCLA because for 40 years, people have fought for a department and finally got that. We wanted to address our community and to make this announcement because she bears some responsibility for launching African American Studies at UCLA in the sense that the courses she was teaching, the kind of knowledge she was dropping was so critical for thinking about what Black Studies is about. And she did all this stuff. She remained at UCLA as a professor there from 1969 to 70 for a year, and as you may know the story, she was fired. And she was fired by Ronald Reagan and UC Regents for politics. And one thing I said today at the commencement, I said, she was fired also because she was dangerous. Angela Davis is dangerous. She's dangerous. Why? Because, as I said, all genuine philosophers of freedom and justice are dangerous. But before she left UCLA, she left an indelible mark on our campus with the courage to speak out against oppression and throw herself into the struggle for freedom. Now, it's also a good day because I get to share the stage with Diana Middleton, with Ignacio Alvarez, with Emma Goulet. And this means a lot to me because LA Can, as most of you know, is definitely one of the most important, most progressive, radical, visionary organizations in Los Angeles. As I was telling my friends at our table, it's like there's 3 organizations that I just think are fantastic that I'm committed to the very end. LA Can being one. And it has the most militant and downright courageous leadership in the country. I mean, your members have faced violent dispossession every day, not some days, but every day. Harassment by the police, private security, landlords, so pervasive that cameras and knowledge of the law become weapons of choice. Your work tirelessly makes these streets safe for the homeless and underhoused, most of whom are Black and most are vulnerable, and many are women and kids, and do so under constant threat of summons, arrest, and violence. You create democratic spaces in what can only be described as a shadow police state, clothed in the euphemisms of safe city initiatives. Right? You make downtown green, right? Green with rooftop urban farming and other creative means to fight food insecurity. And most importantly, LA Can, you save lives. And what do I mean by that? You save lives not by giving out a handout or temporary shelter, but by bringing people out of their isolation into struggle. You are charity's worst nightmare. You're a movement, a radical movement, a movement that makes demands, envisions a different way of living, a different order of things, a movement that insists on the rights of all people to dignity, justice, living income, and livable housing. So Pete White, Becky Dennison, General Dogon, Deborah Burton, Steve Diaz, Eric Arias, Amin Khan, Delmy Perez, Ignacio Aguas, Emma Goulet, and all the other activists and organizers in LA Can, you are like Angela Davis, you're dangerous. And if I, in my privileged position as a university professor and writer, have a job to do, it is to stand with you against the danger of dark times, to tell your story to the world and to learn from you, to absorb all the decades of experience and accumulated knowledge and critical analysis you bring to the movement. I just want to end here by going back to a question that was raised, in fact, by Angela Davis, right? That's the lowest one. I just want to end this because I think it's important. Angela Davis was asked, and we never actually answered this question. She said, we have to act as if there's hope on Democracy Now! And we're going to have this question in this Q&A, and so someone raised an issue, why are you optimistic? What does that mean? Does it mean to be optimistic? How do you enact hope? Is there a difference between having and enacting hope? And to me, the question of enacting hope is not about acting, it's not about wishing for change or hoping for change. It is acting as if you can win. That is, this is what I took from Andrew's comment. Winning, of course, is relative, and this could mean some fundamental victories, it can mean small victories, big victories, but it can mean revolutionary change, it can mean the overthrow of slavery, it can mean the transformation of a city like Jackson, Mississippi, or the transformation of a city like Los Angeles. We're an organized movement of homeless and underhoused people resist dispossession, and in so doing, dismantle the security state and homelessness and insecurity and turn downtown into a possible livable space. So the point is that optimism should never be a substitute for strategy or tactics. And strategy is never valid or useful without critical analysis and an understanding of the history and conditions that confront us. Remember, it was Antonio Gramsci who spent a lot of time in prison, who talked about the optimism of the will, but always paired with the pessimism of the intellect. And one of the great things about your organization is that you have the optimism of the will, the pessimism of the intellect, and the force and vision to actually transform America for all of us.